And we're back live again for day 3 of coverage of Freedom Convoy 2022, cruising to the Capitol. I'm Rick Walker, and my co-hosts are
Brendan Kennedy, the host of the Flow of Discourse podcast,
and Chris Baugh, whose microphone, for some reason, is muted, and I don't know why. Let's see if we can get Chris up. There he is.
I'm Chris Baugh. I'm a co-host of the Flow of Discourse podcast as well. How's it going? How are you guys?
Excellent. And we are in for another 2 or 3 hours of live coverage from Canada's capital, where thousands and thousands and thousands of truckers and Canadians from all walks of life have gathered to protest the vaccine mandates and demand either the resignation of the government or an end to the mandates. So we have a standoff on our hands. Brendan, where are we at with the situation right now?
Well, what's happening with the mainstream media right now is there's a lot of people calling what happened with the Terry Fox statue. We talked about this last night quite a bit. But what we are hearing about it is...
Well, you know what, Brendan? Can I just interrupt you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Before we get too much into that, let's give people a lay of the land here. Let them know what's going on. All that other stuff, there's a lot to be said about that, but that's not the focus of this thing. So let's get to the important stuff first, because a lot of that stuff, honestly, is BS.
It is BS.
So we're going to deal with the BS after we get through some of the important stuff. Are you guys agreeable to that?
Yeah.
Let's focus on
the
new
day. Let's give her out.
So, I'm tired of following the lead that the mainstream media and these other people who keep trying to smear people keep laying out. It's a trap, and I'm tired of playing the game on their terms, and we're not going to do that. I'm not going to anyway. So let's focus on what's going on down there right now. Do we have any footage to show people the size of the crowds or what's going on down there at Parliament Hill?
Little difficult from my end here. I'm seeing there is, now we've changed perspectives. There's that angle there. I believe that's CTV. Don't know if it's right now or a little bit behind, but I got another one. It looks like there's doing speeches. There's some cheering people going on stage. I'll patch that through.
I believe that was Pastor Henry Hildebrandt speaking. I have a video clip from Liz Valley here of that.
Okay.
We could feed that up. It's from just 16 minutes ago.
Okay, bring it up.
Roger
the
that.
Audio going. Still no audio. We know that the crowd keeps growing and growing as truckers keep coming in from all over the country.
No audio?
It's
no
there,
audio.
But it's faint.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix that.
Huh. All right, let's find a better stream. That's not
Yeah.
keep people informed here at all. So I'll tell you what. Brendan, why don't you just, you guys carry the show. I'm going to go find a clip, okay? I'm going to sign out.
Okay.
What is
That's
that?
better.
And there we have downtown Ottawa.
So that's Pastor Henry Hildebrand speaking.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
God
right.
in Elmer.
It will change.
It will crumble.
These truckers
Woo!
have been moved to tears. These truckers have been hawking and hawking. We know
Thank
what
you.
hawking means. Just the word to our ministry. If you don't want to heed to the word of God, if you don't want to heed to the 25 Bible verses that are engraved, you might have a friends coming to Ottawa. That he really cares for the minorities. All we want from our government officials, I stress, all we want from our government officials is we want them to uphold the Constitution. For reasoning doesn't help. All we want is for the government officials to uphold the Constitution, to uphold the Bill of Rights, and most of all, we want them to uphold the Word of God. Take prayer on a screen, give God all everything, don't expect it to go well.
That's right. That's right.
So that is the situation on the ground right now in Ottawa.
So speech is happening down there, and they just really kind of got rolling with that. So the speeches will be happening for at least the next couple of hours.
Yes. And I could imagine, well, let's get a read on the temperature in Ottawa right now. How cold is it?
Cold enough to
Yeah,
be
it's
uncomfortable. Yeah.
It's negative 12. But I guess if you're standing in a big crowd like that, you're kind of like a bunch of penguins.
Yeah, it is true, even when it's cold outside. When you're around a lot of other people, it sometimes doesn't feel as bad, right?
No. So they have that going for them at least. I wanted to. So last night, what kind of was going on in the city is things were pretty much the same as we had seen when we were talking to Matt last night from the inside of his truck. I guess there was fireworks going off last night. Things didn't get as bad as I thought that some people had told me they would get. I did see that the Ottawa Citizen did report. The police made a statement stating that trucker convoy, police report no injuries, no incidents of violence after first day of protests. And this is echoing the sentiments that we've been hearing from everybody on the ground since we've started this on Friday.
Here's a little clip of what's happening on the street right now. Did you want to roll that, or did you have something else there, Brendan? I can bring this up here.
Oh, you could roll it.
Okay, so let's just take a look and see what's happening out there. See, this is fresh video. And the horns just keep on blaring. That's been the case like since Friday afternoon, Friday evening. horns just constantly ringing out. And around Parliament Hill, the entire area downtown, it's just jammed with people. Canadians sending a clear message to the government, to the Prime Minister, that they've just had enough.
Some of the numbers we've been hearing is upwards to 500,000 people, and still more on the way.
Yes. Trucks still rolling in from Western Canada. It is Sunday. A lot of these guys, or some of them, will be leaving at the end of the day today or through the day, because these are the people who keep things moving, and a lot of them have to go back to work. A lot of the ordinary Canadians who showed up there this weekend in their cars are also will also be leaving, a lot of them, to go back to work for Monday. But more reinforcements will be coming in today to kind of pick up the slack. A lot of these truckers from further afield, from Western and Eastern Canada, they're still on the road, still heading toward Ottawa in a giant convoy. And the question will be, I think today, how many will remain as the standoff continues? We've heard that the truckers are going to stay there until their demands are met. So do they have the resources? Do they have the resilience to wait it out in the cold when the Prime Minister, Justin, has indicated he is not going to give in?
It would certainly seem that way. It seems like he's just gone into hiding. Like all of a sudden they, what did they say? Safety concerns? They need to be rushed off to the secret location.
Well, you know, he says
We
he's
did
not
have
gonna
a-
give
we-
in because they have unacceptable views.
Yeah.
We have Herbert Hildebrandt, who came on the show last night, was an eyewitness to the helicopter leaving the Prime Minister's residence last night. So he did take off. He has not made any mentions, as far as I could tell, on Twitter or social media about the incident, other than the things that he think are unsavory so far. He's retweeted things like that. There were statements made by the Terry Fox Foundation and one of the high-ranking generals.
You know, the thing is, though, it's like, how do you win? And I think that the answer to that is the people who have gone to Ottawa, the people who are there, Canadians in general, they've already won a victory here just by showing up. And by showing up, they've really shown other Canadians that they're not alone. I think for the past 2 years, a lot of people have had trouble making sense of all of the stuff that's been going on surrounding this pandemic and the lockdowns and the jab and everything. People are trying to make sense of things. And with the mainstream media basically acting as a mouthpiece, I think, for the government, people sitting at home have had a hard time getting a bead on how much concern there is or has been surrounding all of this. And the truth is, people who have questions have not been alone. They've just been isolated.
And
Just been isolated.
ridiculed, called stupid, discredited, defamed,
Shamed.
Shame on you to ask questions.
Yes. You know, it's really, I think it has been nothing short of disgusting. The way this has been handled, the way that people have been shamed, marginalized, dehumanized, victimized. The rhetoric coming from the Prime Minister himself, has been disgusting. Disgusting. You have some video there, Chris?
It's just more of the talking. It's the next speakers. This
I see.
carrying on from that first clip we were
So
looking at.
this is live feed from Liz still? Was that what
No, this is a different, but
different
it's a
feed?
different
Same
feed, same footage. Just sorry, same feed, same location.
Is the audio better, I wonder? Let's take a quick
Let's
look.
try her out.
Has empowered themselves,
Yes, it is.
and they made you
There
believe
we go.
that they
Let's
are
just
the truth.
listen in for a moment.
We are the truth. No one can no longer take your truth away. So we, together, if they are going to tax our people for being unvaccinated, let's use that document and stop their policies that they legislated. Let's use it for the future of our children.
I got another feed from behind the speaker.
Mhm.
About the future of our children, the ones not yet born.
Pull that up on.
So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I ask the Creator to help us with the next step. There are solutions. Our grandparents taught us that. So let's unite from the bottom of my heart. I ask.
I think it's
We
a little
have
delayed.
two feeds flowing in here at the same time, Chris.
There are solutions.
You have
There,
to
how's
close
that?
one of your windows. That's better.
Taught us that. So let's unite under this common purpose and take it down in a peaceful way and use their system. Thank you.
I'm absolutely overjoyed by the First Nations presence in participating in this.
Getting the word out. I think hashtag Trudeau's truck stop has a good sound to it. We're in here for the long haul. This is not ending tonight or anytime soon. Use your devices over the next while, tomorrow, the next day. We need to keep this going. Freedom Convoy Canada, hashtag Trudeau's truck stop. Let's get that trending as soon as we can. Thank you, everybody.
Just so everybody knows, I stand with Trudeau was started trending yesterday, but I don't think it's trending anymore.
Well, we'll have to keep a close eye on that.
Hello, Canada. Hello. My name is Bethany Nodwell. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm one of the organizers for Adopt a Trucker. And I can tell you, it has been something to get this going on. And just to receive everybody, and you guys have been so amazing, so peaceful, so beautiful, completely blowing the mainstream's narrative. No! No boys! They're calling us racist. They're calling us misogynist. We're a fringe minority with unacceptable views. So, I'm a trucker from the Eastern Division, and I'm bringing them up ahead of the VIPs and the fancy fences.
Can you get any more volume on that? Any more gain?
That's all you get.
If you drop it in our chat box, Chris, I could feed it through my computer, which doesn't seem to have the audio problems.
And as you can see, we have First Nations peoples there. We have, people literally from every walk of life in Ottawa today. And yet these people who have decided to go there and exercise their democratic right to voice their opposition to government policies are being called racists, misogynists.
It's funny, they tell the people who are fighting against censorship are censoring.
They're not fighting against censorship. They
No,
are
us.
pro-censorship.
We're fighting against it. They say we're censoring.
Oh,
They're
is that
censorable.
right? Well,
It's just silly.
Yeah, we don't have any decent audio there, so let's just pull out of that.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it there, Brennan? Okay.
Yeah, it's just switch it over, and the audio will change over.
There we go. Let's go full
We're
screen
making
on that if you
history.
can.
Yep.
History like the world never has seen before. Politicians, they can speak their language, they can take the battles. At the end of the day, the people, they are the ones to decide. I had the honor to be given a letter when I left Enfield. I don't know the woman. She put a bag in my truck. I didn't open the bag until the first night about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to read you that letter.
My toes are numb.
He's talking about, good Samaritans, Canadians coming together, supporting, the people who are there, homeowners opening their homes
To you
to the
first,
people who went.
thank you.
I can't wait.
That's a thank you to the truckers, to the bravehearts. You don't know me, but we want you to know we are so proud to be part of this moment in time when Canadians stood up and wiped off our snow-covered boots and took a stand for freedom. Our children deserve a world where there is no division, darkness and borders. One where we are all free, where we can laugh, the big laugh heart, live and share moments together without fear and control. As you understand, as you stand on guard for thee, know we are standing with you. Thank you for all you're doing and for leading the charge. Our prayers are with you and thoughts it all. If the dark moments creep, you can remember the self-care kit we have attached, which I will honor. The dark nights of the soul.
Rick, if you could bring up some of these comments, they're pretty good.
When we have felt the most hopeless, we need to be reminded we are not alone, and light and the energy wins. Bless all you truckers, the bravehearts, from our home in Nova Scotia, Canada, the land and country of the free. Safe travels, and these are the bravehearts for the people. I heard earlier that this is Trudeau's truck stop. No, it's the Bravehearts truck stop. That's what it is. Thank you. God bless you. We are all with you. We won't let you down. And we know you don't let us down. Welcome me.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, Eastern Division. Thank you, truckers. Oh, are we an excited bunch today? I have some fancy doctors, but do you guys feel like doing a round? We're going to do many rounds of this. We ready for a round of O Canada, guys? All right. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, with all our sons command, with glowing hearts we
Oops, we lost that feed.
strong
There we go.
and free from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land.
Shout out to the Yoopers.
Glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. God bless you. We love you. Stand on guard. Oh, amen, amen, amen. Amen. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we have George Baird here from Taking Back Our Freedom. Ladies and gentlemen.
Not thousands of people in our nation's capital.
We're blue collar, but we have some white collars here who are here to defend us. Our intuitions have proof. So, let me start with George Baird from Taking Back Our Freedoms.
I got another angle here. This continuation of that. Hopefully the audio will work.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My friends and my colleagues drove 49 hours straight from Calgary to be here today.
You want to pick it up here?
Can you hear it?
It's low still. It's something.
Yeah.
on the computer.
Yeah, I think it's because it's just an older computer.
Mhm.
She's chugging. She's having a hard time. Come on,
Okay,
girl.
we've got it here.
You're going to get a message. He'll take you directly to our website, and a message from our chairman of the board, the only living first minister in the country who was there in 1982 to sign the Constitution and the Charter of Rights, the true living legend, the premier, the only real premier in this country, and his name is Brian Peckford.
Anybody who hasn't seen Jordan Peterson's podcast about that yet, I recommend it.
The QPC code. They're not going to tell you whether you're vax. Screw the vax. It's going to tell you the message from the founder of the Charter of Rights and Freedom. I'm going to pass this up. Pass these around.
One of those actually.
Pass these around and get a message from Brian Peckford. It's a real honor to be here today. My name is George Baird. I grew up on Prince Edward Island. I live in Calgary, Alberta. I went to Calgary because of its freedom 25 years ago. And I have a message for Premier Jason Kenney. End the mandates. Support the truckers. Support the people. Support our country. And I have a message for CBC and CTV and Global. You want to do an interview with me today? Lose my number. Lose my number. Screw the mainstream media because they're trying to screw us. We stand for the truckers. We stand for the people of Canada. We stand for the people who are here. We're speaking to our fringe group. Well, this is a mighty fine fringe group, and I love being a part of this fringe group. The name of our organization is called Taking Back Our Freedom. Hear me! Taking back our freedom! 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 Taking back our freedom!
I'm not sure, but I think they're a little upset.
When my good friend Roy Byer,
Yeah, I wonder why they don't like the CBC.
and the double cross that Premier Jason Kenney did last fall with these illegal mandates, we said it's time to step up. And when I was driving in here last night with one of my dear friends, Dr. Paul Alexander, who's on our board, he used to work for the Trump White House. He's a man of character, he's a man of courage, and he's a man of conviction. And I said the last time I was in Ottawa was in June 30th, 1991. It's down the street here. I was national director of an organization called Victims of Violence.
and I worked with families of homicide. 30 years later, I'm coming back here. Only this time, the criminals are not Clifford Olson. The criminals are the 10 premiers in our country and this prime minister, and they need to be held criminally responsible. And to all the union bosses in Canada, you're siding with the globalists. Let's boycott the union bosses. Let's boycott the mainstream media. And let's support our truckers. God bless our truckers. I have 2 messages from you. This is not about statistics. This is about real lives. And in this country, everyone here has someone who loves them. But I have a message. When I used to work down in the Burnside building with families of homicide, I worked for 3 years getting Charles Name extradited to California. Now I'm going to work on your behalf to have these guys criminally charged for crimes against humanity. And I come here today with a message from 2 families in Canada, and they gave me permission to share their stories. These are not statistics. These are victims of criminal actions by Justin Trudeau and 10 premiers in this country.
That's right.
The first message is the story of my friend from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Her name is Cheryl Moberly. She's a friend of mine. And Cheryl Moberly has a 39-year-old daughter. And on the 12th of October, last fall, her daughter has 4 children to feed and support as a single mom. And the only way she could keep her job was to take the jab. She took the jab on the 12th of October. And on the 17th of October, her mom, Cheryl, had to fight for 2.5 hours to get in the hospital to see her daughter because Cheryl's not vaxxed and she refused to wear a mask. After 2.5 hours to get in to see her daughter, Jolene, she got up to ICU and she said to the doctors, she saw her daughter through the glass, "Why do you have towels around my daughter's wrists, tying her to the bed rails?" And the doctor said, "You shouldn't even be up here. You're not vaxxed. You're not wearing a mask." And she said something I won't repeat, but God bless her for saying it. She fought her way in to see her daughter, and her daughter said, "Mommy." And she gently took the mask off her daughter, and her daughter was sweating. She gently untied her hands. And 2 hours and 15 minutes later, she had died. That's murder! These people, they need to be held accountable. We need to follow the due process. The last story I have to you, I spoke to this man 20 years ago. I'm taking my hat off to honor all truckers in North America. You're heroes. You're changing history. We salute you truckers. We salute you truckers from Vancouver to Newfoundland, from San Diego to Miami. We salute you. I spoke to a trucker 45 minutes ago. He's from Barrie, Ontario. And my trucker friend from Barrie, Ontario, his name, I just spoke to him 45 minutes ago. He's a friend of mine. I honor Dan Hartman, trucker in Canada today. Dan Hartman has one son, 17-year-old young hockey player. In order for him to play hockey last fall, he had to take the killer jab. And Sean Hartman, on the 25th of August last summer, against his will, that 17-year-old boy took the jab and didn't tell his dad.
As a parent, we can all relate to this. And when we have criminal convictions, we need to follow peaceful demonstration, due course of law. Let the system take its course. But we're going to stand with Dan Hartman, trucker, and here's why. Because on the 27th day of September, just a month afterwards, Dan Hartman lost his only son to the vaccine. We need to stop this. We need to stand for the truckers. And the last thing I want to say, I said to Dan, tomorrow, Sean, it's his birthday. Tomorrow is Sean's 18th birthday. So we got a trucker in this country who's not going to be able to celebrate Sean's 18th birthday. And he said, you guys can sing happy birthday to Sean in his memory. To honor our trucker friend Dan Hartman, join me in singing a farewell happy birthday to Sean Hartman. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sean Hartman. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. We started taking back our freedom. To finish a job I started in '86, I worked as National Director of Victims of Violence with Gary and Sharon Rosenfeld. Working with families who were murdered, loved ones were murdered, and now we're going to finish the job. We did it peacefully then, we're going to do it peacefully now. We followed due course then, we're going to follow due course now. But I salute the police officers. I salute my friend Brian Dennison, who's on our board. His video went 2 million strong. He's a courageous police officer standing for every police officer in the country.
Eventually the truth comes out.
I salute the doctors. I salute Brian Peckford as our chairman of the board. And I salute these doctors. The doctor I want to introduce, I just want to introduce. Here's a hero in this country for police officers. This man stands for every police officer in Canada, United States, and around the world. Our board of advisors for taking back our freedom. My friend, give a warm Ottawa welcome for Brian Dennison.
Get here, but I am here to stand up for all law enforcement. We all need to be on your side. Everybody here that's wearing a uniform needs to be on this side of history. And I'm calling on every single police officer to stand up for freedom! 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 Thank you!
Thank you very much. All right, you've got another introduction. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a real hero in Canada, United States, and around the world. My friend, former executive within the Trump West Wing White House. Will you please give a warm Ottawa welcome to a Canadian hero, Dr. Paul Alexander.
Let's give it up for our police. Let's give it up for the truckers of the United States and truckers of Canada. Listen, I stood at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial about 4 days ago with the Defeat the Mandates and the company of Peter McCullough, Robert Malone, these giants in science globally. But nothing prepared me for what I came to see today. Long live Canada! Look, I'm in the company of Dr. Roger Hodkinson from Alberta, one of the globe's top pathologists. So I want to be brief and I want to be clear. We've looked at the science for 22 months now, and we have told the government of Canada, the government of the United States, UK, Scotland, every nation in this world, you do not lock your society down. You should have never closed schools. We had reports in the administration of 7 and 8-year-old American children hung themselves. They could not take the school closures and the lockdowns. And we begged them. Trump fought them. He fought them daily. He fought them every day to open the schools. But the CDC and the unions are an unholy, corrupted alliance.
Lock them
Never, ever do we give these people the emergency powers we gave them again. When a government takes emergency powers, they will never, ever give it back to you. Ever. You have to take it back peacefully and legally. When you give them those powers, they will maximally abuse it. They will abuse you. You can never get out of this tyrannical system by compliance. We need to take it back peacefully.
Thousands.
As many as
And I want to
500,000
say
in the
this
city.
about the mandates. We've looked at the
500,000.
data. There's no difference scientifically. When we look at the actual data, we've published 42 studies to show that there's no difference between a vaccinated and an unvaccinated person. In fact, the science is very, very clear. And
We should
and
see if we can
public
pull
health
up those
officials in
studies.
Canada are
They're not
not
from
in
this
line.
show, but
they're
just in
not
general.
contemporary with the
It'd be
science.
nice to have.
The science shows that the vaccinated actually harbors far much more viral load, and the vaccinated person transmits virus. It is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. It never has been.
I think a day of reckoning
Let
is
me close
coming.
with this. We looked at the data 22 months now, and we told them children are at statistical zero risk of acquiring this infection in the first place. Children are at statistical zero risk of transmitting it to children, of taking it home, or of getting severely ill. We showed them in the United States of America, and I'm going to be very, very clear with this. Not one healthy child has died of COVID. It's a very important statement.
Keyword
Not
healthy.
One healthy child has died of COVID. This was a hoax. The response, not the virus, was a hoax. This virus presented serious problems for at-risk vulnerable people. We knew that, but we knew that we had early treatment. We could have properly secured the vulnerable in our society with an age-risk stratified approach, focused protection. We did not need to lock the society down. We did not need to close schools. We didn't need to do none of this. We told them 22 months.
Oh, they will be.
we looked
Oh,
at the
yeah,
data,
you just wait.
And every single lockdown across the entire world.
Well,
Lost our feed.
that's it.
Hey guys, this
All failed. The Canadian public health officials, the American public health officials, they have catastrophically failed. And it's time to declare pandemic emergency over. The Omicron variant is the mildest of the variants, and is operating how a virus should operate. It is time now. The government of Canada should take this exit strategy. This is an offer the government of Canada should take. It's a gift. Open the society, end the mandates. There is no reason for this anymore, and allow the truckers their freedom. End the mandates. Let me introduce now one of my very good friends from Alberta, Dr. Roger Hodkinson. I cannot even walk in the shadows, so I wanted to come here and want to team up. He's one of the best people in this group. Over to Dr. Hopkinson.
Here's a doctor they couldn't control, and so they had to spin him and discredit him.
Dr. Hodgkinson is, to say the least, very credible.
Hello, truckers. Hello, freedom fighters.
You want truth? I think you might find some
We're
here.
not gonna take it anymore. Repeat after me. It's over. It's over.
I believe that's a flag of India in the background.
Everyone has failed. Doctors, the media, politicians, the church. We've all failed. And what did it take to get here? Guys with dirty fingernails. The truckers. The
Truckers, working people.
Thank you.
Real Canadians.
People who build our country.
Nothing did work, and therefore nothing will work. It's got to stop. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a medical specialist to realize that if you're doing the same goddamn thing over and over and over again, and it's not working, just maybe it's not working.
Not working. It's insane.
You lot rats, stand up!
The world is
Let me
watching.
tell you something. I'm a physician, and every single death counts. They are not statistics. They're not numbers with zeros. Has it really come to this?
Dr. Roger Hodkinson.
Child sacrifice to appease these new gods. Has it really come to this? Let me tell you, it didn't make the rain fall for the Aztecs, and it won't stay running in the nursing home. It's got to stop. Repeat after me. Enough! Negotiating! This is not a time to dinner, to negotiate! We're gonna stop it now!
He's chairman of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of
Support
Canada.
two things. Taking back our freedoms. You've heard from George. It's a national movement led by Brian Peckford. And if there's going to be any federal response to this, it's going to be Max Bernier, who's from the BBC, and he's here.
Who was associated
now.
with them.
Thank you, Max, and thank you all for coming, and thank you, truckers of Canada.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is Dr. Hodgkinson and Dr. Paul Alexander and George Pears from Freedom. Thank you. Look at all you people. We are holding the line. Holding the line. We're holding the line. We're holding the line. Up next, I think it's a good time to call up the Max. I think it is time to call up
The Max.
Mr. Bernier. Next him.
It was the one. It was the Max.
Dr. Hodkinson is a
Nothing will
pathologist.
stop what's coming, Canada. Look at Canada the brave. an inspiration to the world. And what did Canada just do? What just happened in sleepy Canada? We held the line, Canada the brave, you brave soldiers. All right, do we have Mr. Bernier? Is he getting through autographs and trophies?
Vacccine Bernier, leader of the
It's a
People's
little
Party of Canada.
Here, guys. Best stage in the world. We'd like to thank the owner of this crane truck. Anytime you need a crane, this is the guy.
Except for this one.
Oh, that's him.
We had spoken briefly with Vacccine Bernier last night.
There he is.
You know, we need to thank our truckers because they're the one who gave us hope. They are giving up hope that all this tyranny will end. That will be the Canada Day. It is the Canada Day. It is our day today. We celebrate our freedoms. Has failed. Every single school.
Are we losing our feed?
No.
Closure has failed. Every mask mandate has failed. We have clear data to show this. They have all failed. The Canadian public health officials,
What happened to Max?
the American public health officials, they have catastrophic.
I'm not sure.
failed.
We
And
got
it
the
is
wrong
time-
feed.
It is time to declare the pandemic emergency over. Attack!
There it
Yes, under attack, and we are saying
And then it just
enough
switches.
is enough.
Somebody put it.
Because only in a free society is there human dignity, equality of rights, and economic prosperity. So we need to regain our freedom as soon as possible. And now, as you know, I was last summer in Manitoba, and I was arrested and cuffed and put in jail for fighting against this tyranny. I can tell you today that I'm ready to go back to jail to fight for freedom. Because what makes Canada, what makes our country a great country and a great place to live is that for a century
I'm gonna
and
fact
a
check
half,
that real
that
honest
country
truth comment.
has been the freest countries in the world. And now that's not the case anymore. That's why I'm mad today, and you can call me Mad Max. I'm very mad because I don't recognize our country anymore. J'aimerais dire à nos concitoyens de partout du Canada et du Québec, lâchez pas et remerciez les camionneurs du Québec et du Canada qui ont donné l'exemple et qui nous ont donné du courage, le courage de se battre pour nos libertés. Merci, merci. And now, I just want to end by a quote from a great Prime Minister, John B. Baker. John B. Baker said, "I'm a Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak
without fear. Free to worship God in my own way. Free to stand for what I think right. Free to oppose. Free to oppose what I believe wrong. Free to choose who govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge uphold for myself and all mankind. So that battle of freedom is an historical one. And like John F. Kennedy once said, in the long history of the world, only few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom
Nobody's going to storm Parliament.
in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation.
That's what they want you to do, storm Parliament. That's baloney.
Exactly.
And now is the time. You must be super spreaders of freedom. Freedom! 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 I want to introduce another freedom fighters that was with us since the beginning. My friend, Randy York. Freedom! Freedom!
Vacccine Bernier, leader of the People's Party of Canada.
Thank you all for being here. And Canada welcomes freedom today, this weekend, and always.
Here's Randy Hillier,
I want to say this. We know this.
Ontario First Party now.
Truckers go the distance. Truckers go the distance. Doesn't matter where truckers have come from thousands of miles away, from East Coast and West Coast. They've gone the distance.
All right, Matt.
And this is one thing that we know for sure. We know for sure this.
And the flag.
They won't be running home empty. They're going to be a full load on their backs. A full load of freedom. Freedom! That's what they'll be running home with.
We'll take the flag. The other side doesn't seem to want it.
You know, they remind me a lot of a childhood hero of mine. Many people in the crowd may remember. There's a great Canadian of my youth. His name was George Chavallo. Is George Chavallo. Anybody know George? 5-time heavyweight champion. 5 times. He fought Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. He had 93 fights, and nobody ever knocked him down, and nobody ever knocked him out. He went the distance, and we're going to go the distance this weekend and for however long it takes. We won't get knocked out. We won't get knocked down. We'll be like George. We'll be like all Canadians always have been. And I want to say one thing. We've got a small fringe group up in that building. A small fringe group with unacceptable views.
That's right. Yeah.
338 MPs up there. A small fringe group. Today, this weekend, we are passing a motion of non-confidence in that bloody bunch. They don't deserve to represent us. They haven't represented us. They're there to protect our freedoms. But instead, they're all cowards in a cottage and hiding from us. So let's take this home. let's make sure we don't leave Ottawa. We don't leave Ottawa unless we've got freedom in our trucks, freedom in our pockets.
The world is watching.
That's right, Randy!
We'll leave the masks behind. We'll leave the social distancing behind. We'll leave the mask behind. We'll go home. We'll go home free to go to our churches. Free to go to our schools. Free to go to work. Free to speak our minds. Free to be Canadians. I won't be leaving. I'll be with the truckers. We'll go the distance, however long that distance is. We're going to fight, and we won't get knocked out, and we'll be bringing freedom home to our families, to our children, to our churches, to our workplaces, and everybody will see the smiling faces of free Canadians.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Punch it home. Let's not get knocked out. Let's keep fighting. Don't give up. Thank you.
Hey, we got the mic here. Thank you, Maxim. Thank you, Mr. Hillier. We have a beautiful woman coming up to sing. Am I in a group shot? I'm sorry, I'm in a group shot. All right, thank you, Max. Thank you, Canada, the brave. Canada, the inspiration to the world. Nothing
Literally,
can
eh?
stop what is coming.
Okay.
We have this beautiful woman here.
Little glitch in the feed there. Might come back, hopefully. The signal from Parliament Hill has been spotty over the last few days. Incredible crowd. The energy is off the charts there. I hear a little bit of audio, but the feed is still not good.
Audio might not be the best, but
You got us up there? Singing the national anthem.
yeah. So they're just singing the national anthem now again. It's funny. I've been watching this feed while we've been watching the other feed, and it was, I could see the camera person for the angle of what we were watching in the other shot. And I was like, oh, there's the person.
We'll go back to Parliament Hill in just a moment while we secure a solid feed again. But obviously, it's jammed down there.
I'm getting reports as well that there is more a ways away and getting blocked by tractors. What did it say? It was just a post in one of the support groups here.
Well, the stories that we were hearing there about people who had taken the you know what, and I guess we have to be somewhat careful about what we say because we're on YouTube, but you can only suppress truth and information for so long. And we have been hearing a lot of stories over the past year, and they are stories that you're not being told through the mainstream media at all. And what can I say? it was riveting what we just heard, and it was breaking my heart. I just don't know. I've heard a lot of stories like that over the past year, and this information is being suppressed. And it isn't just what the mainstream media is telling you, it is what they are choosing to not tell you. It is what the government is making sure you don't know. It's censorship. And it's dangerous. You can't make a fully informed decision unless you have all the information. And when people are being told to not listen to this doctor or not listen to that, in my view, that's very dangerous. I think people are smart enough when given all the information to make good choices for themselves. They don't need someone like Justin Trudeau, Mr. Snowboard, to make a healthcare decision for them, for you. I think I can make a good decision for myself and my family. You could make a good decision for yourself as well. That's my opinion. What do you think, Chris?
I'd have to agree. It's kind of like to the point where we get to a certain age where given abilities to be able to make responsible decisions, such as, buying alcohol, voting, and so on and so forth, or having to get a license to go drive or go fishing or do just about anything so that you are able to show that you're a responsible citizen, and they've tested you on that. But now then as soon as they start censoring and taking things away, it's as if they're treating like a child after you've gone through all these steps. And it's like, well, what was the point of all that if you're going to treat me like a child anyways? So either I'm an adult with responsibility, or I'm a child. So it's like, pick one, right? And I agree with you. You can't make a clear decision without all the evidence. Regardless of how you feel about that data, you need to be able to look at it and make a decision based on that information. Otherwise, you're going to be living in a fallacy at that point, and you won't know any better.
And I don't know of another moment in time in Canadian history ever when information has been suppressed in this way.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually had a comment to Bren yesterday, and I said, it's amazing if only mainstream media hadn't become what it's become, and actually looked at all of this independent media and all this free footage and all these things, and realized that it's free work for them. So they literally look at all these people. They went out and did their job for them. So now they could, if they were proper and actually trying to present the truth and the facts instead of just the narrative, then they would be able to work with independent media. You know what I mean? And we could all unify, and then the journalism would turn into something new for the better, not for the worst like it is.
Well, right. Because the mainstream media has not been doing their job, people have been taking it upon themselves through social media, with their cell phones, to fill the void and keep each other informed. And that's why we're here today. We're trying to give people a somewhat unfiltered view, uncensored view of what is happening on Parliament Hill. They tried to dismiss this. The mainstream media tried to dismiss this and the politicians as some small little thing with some truckers. They downplayed it at first. They tried to get everyone to ignore it. They didn't provide, any coverage. Even the local media around here for 3 days, the past 3 days leading up to this, didn't mention this. They were trying to hide it.
As best as they could until they kind of got forced into it, right?
But look at the size of the crowd, and they're still today trying to portray every person down there as some fringe lunatic, some whack job, some misogynist, sexist,
all of them,
white supremacist. Yes. I'll tell you this: what they're talking about here is at least half the population, maybe more, because the the tide is shifting, as you can see. There's a wave of truth that is beginning to sweep across this country. And it's clear that everything we've been told from the beginning is not exactly has not exactly been truthful, and there's been shifts, complete flip-flops, claims that were made just haven't held water, and yet these so-called conspiracy theories, many of them, if not all of them, have come to pass.
And that's the scariest part.
And the change that we're seeing as we move toward this digital future with vaccine passports and tracking, it's happening at an accelerated pace. And if people can't see where all this is going and where we've wound up at this point, if you can't see where the path is going now, it's only because the mainstream media is probably your main source of information, and you're not getting any information from any other place. It's just, or you're just blind, willfully.
It's a funny thing too, because that's a lot of the stuff that's happened with going on with even Parliament and stuff for the last 6 years, and it's like, well, you're either willfully ignorant or you're just incompetent. It's one or the other, and either way, it's not going to work.
Yes.
And that's,
Hey,
that's
Brendan, could you see if you could maybe pull up a feed there with good audio again, because we don't have good audio on this this live stream.
Come on, computer. Yeah, I'm going to stop that one here.
all right. I got it.
Rock on. But now is what you're saying there too, Rick. You got to remember the Canadian Trucking Alliance has basically disavowed and said condemned all this, right? But they only have 4,500 drivers.
You know what? The Canadian Trucking Alliance does not really, if you look at what they are,
Yeah.
they do not represent drivers. You know who the Canadian Trucking Alliance really represents?
The owners,
Really?
technically.
The big trucking companies, corporations. And those big trucking companies have big contracts with other big corporations.
Mhm.
They are interested in profits. They don't give one damn about the drivers, their well-being, their families, or their damn health. They just want those guys on the road. And when the government says they got to be vaxxed or else they can't drive, or, you know, they're going to support whatever the government tells them they have to support in order to just keep the trucks rolling. And beyond that, they don't give a damn.
Well,
And that in itself is sickening. And that's the truth. And the media is portraying them as though there's some union representing truckers. They keep saying the Canadian Trucking Alliance has denounced the truckers. Then the truckers protest. They don't represent the damn truckers. They represent the big money. That's who they represent. So they can just, okay? So that's the end of that conversation right freaking there. The Canadian Trucking Alliance, they don't represent the people who are out there today. And that's the bottom line on that.
Yeah, if you even go, I looked at their website after hearing about all that, and it even literally says about the CTA, we represent a broad cross-section of the trucking industry. Some 4,500 carriers, owner-operators, and industry suppliers.
Blah, blah,
That's
blah,
not that
blah,
much.
blah, 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 blah.
You know,
what?
exactly.
Suck it.
It's just such
Okay?
a small number that the way they made it seem, they're like, oh, it's this thing, and it's only 4,500. Like, really?
It's this big authority on trucking. They know everything that we have your best interests at heart. And that kind of rings true. Remember, we were talking to the truck driver, Matt, last night, and he talked about all the regulations around trucking. I bet you they have bowed over for every one of those regulations that were implemented by the government.
Talk about misinformation, twisting the truth. The average Canadian doesn't understand what the Canadian Trucking Alliance is. It's big business, and that's what they are all about, folks. And they're not the only ones. It's all these big corporate interests. That's what's going on here. They don't care about their workers. They don't care. And I'll go further than that. Every chamber of commerce across this country has been captured by this woke movement, and they're also motivated by profits, and they are beholden to no longer small business. Chambers of commerce across this country do not represent small business anymore. They represent big corporations, every single one of them. That's why they wouldn't let the PPC participate in debates across this country during the last election. They were complicit in silencing opposition to the federal government, and all of these mandates, they don't represent real Canadians anymore. They represent the corporatocracy and the status quo and Justin Trudeau and the federal government and the uniparty. That's what it's all about. Those people are the so-called elite, and it's the regular everyday Canadians that are out there fighting right now on the front lines in what is really a new form of warfare. That's what we're witnessing here, folks, and that's what's really going on. It's big money versus real Canadians, and they don't give a damn about your freedom at all. They don't care about your rights. They care about money.
They want you to buy their stuff. We'll smear rainbows all over beer cans, and so you can feel good about yourself while you get half in the bag. Like, it's we are in such dire straits with the truth and where the truth comes from. I think it's because the mainstream media more or less held a monopoly on truth for too long, but they've abused that right, and they've abused that power.
There was a time when you could trust the media, I think. I worked for CTV for 25 years. I know how it works, and I see what's going on today, and that's why I'm sitting here right now. I would rather be sitting on a beach someplace or doing something completely different, but somebody has to speak up and say something, and so I'm doing my small part with you guys and all these other Canadians and everybody who's out there with a cell phone today shooting this video to get the truth out there, because you can't rely on the media anymore. They've been bought and paid for.
I'll start playing this again whenever you want. I just paused it.
Let's rock. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
Viewers
Back into the show. Audio's good?
I hear it, yeah.
You know, my friends, we are here to fight for freedom, to stand with the truck drivers. You know, I love the national anthem. There's a part that says, God keep our land.
God keep our land.
God heal our land. Look around you. God is healing our land. This is why I'm saying Canada shall be saved. You know, I'm gonna pray for the truck drivers. I'm gonna pray for everybody here. And I'm gonna pray for Canada. You know, Canada is the best nation in the world. Canada is the best country in the world. Canada is worth fighting for. My friends, the best is just not yet to come. The best is now. Say Jesus! Say Jesus! We have a call in the national anthem. It says, stand on guard for thee. If we don't stand on guard for thee, who else will? This is Canada's time. And Canada shall rise again. I'm going to read from Psalm 27. This is a Psalm of David. It says, the Lord is my light and my salvation. So why should I be afraid? The Lord protects me from danger. So why should I tremble? When evil people come to destroy me, when my enemies and foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. Though a mighty army surround me, my friend, my heart would know no fear. Even if they attack me, I remain confident. Say, I am confident. I am confident. There's so much perversion in the nation because we have a godless leader. We have a leader. See, the Bible tells us the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. My friends, enough is enough. This is Canada's time. Jesus is moving. Canada shall be saved. So, Father, Lord God Almighty, I pray right now, God. Your word says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, you will hear our cry, Lord. So, Lord God, today, with the truck drivers, with my brothers and my sisters, Lord, we call to you today, Lord. Father, please heal us.
It's okay. It'll come
Interrupted there again. It'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back.
I'm the
Here we go.
government, God.
We're switching cameras.
We pray that Canada will be a transformed nation, God.
Shout out
We
to
thank you for
Durham there.
reformation.
Thanks for the
We
footage.
thank you for a move of God. Holy Spirit, invade our country. Because this country, it belongs to Jesus. Amen. So guys, before I leave, I want to say the sound of hungry. Those hungry. That is a sound of revival. That is a wake-up call. The honking is a divine announcement. It is a divine announcement. God is here. Say Jesus. Say Jesus. And Canada shall be saved. Amen.
All right. We just want to thank all of our protective detail, especially the ones that are watching us on the roof right now. We just want to thank them for keeping us safe. We thank you guys. We see you. We see you up there, guys. We see you. We see you. All right.
I have heard of reports of snipers on the roof. I don't know if that's true.
Next, I remember seeing
would not
this
doubt it
woman
one
fight
bit.
by herself.
No.
It's been a lonely, long 2 years. And this woman has been fighting for our kids. For their
Small fringe minority, guys.
Without any
Look around.
interference
Just a
of
couple
medical
hundred people,
intervention
right?
by the state. I have just
With
totally
unacceptable
fallen in love
views.
with this beauty. I would like you guys to give a warm for Jody Ledgerwood.
That's my cue to go walk the crowd. Sorry, brother.
Okay, we're going to get some shots in the crowd.
Big shout out who's providing the footage, by the way. Thank you for sharing this for everyone to see. I wish we had a bit
incredible.
more staff. You know, if I was there, I'd be doing my best.
Well, we're
to
doing
get you
fine,
guys
and we've got good feeds, and I think we're filling a void here because the mainstream media simply isn't going to provide this kind of coverage, and this, I think, is giving people a much more accurate view than they would get it otherwise.
Definitely. If I wasn't involved, I'd be watching this.
Reopening Ontario! We are reopening Ontario today! We don't need Schedule 1, Section 2, Subsection 4 that says you need a mask exemption. We just take them all! Mr. Justin Trudeau! Mr.
Live feed unedited here today.
We've had enough, and we are here with the support of the truckers to tell you so. Enough is enough. Hands off our kids. Hands off our kids. We have a Canadian Bill of Rights that says we do not have to be immunized. We have an Immunization Act of 1997 that says, because of our Constitution, you cannot mandate immunization. So today, the mandate is, and we're here loud and proud to say we've had enough, and we are Canadian, and we are proud Canadians with a Constitution that protects our inalienable rights. And we are here in numbers. If this is the definition of a fringe crowd, what's the definition of a large crowd? Because we got more truckers coming in. They tried to stop them, but they're coming.
Crowd keeps growing, even now.
We are here, and we are proud. Keep your hands off our kids. And now, a dear, dear friend of mine is here to speak to you.
I'm sorry to pause, but I do have a breaking story I need to share with you.
Okay.
I did receive that if you are in Ottawa supporting the truckers, you need to make your way to Sir John A. Macdonald and Booth Street. The Western Convoy is stuck there with a tractor barricade, preventing them from entering downtown. Please go show them love. They are alone. The first camera feed I tried to look for that intersection was inoperable, but I did find. Bear with me one moment here. I have it.
We're hearing reports of as many as 500,000 people, more coming in. And it's not just at Parliament Hill. The trucks, the vehicles, they're spread out at staging areas all over the city, at the airport and parking lots, out in outlying areas. And there are events and happenings everywhere, speeches and all kinds of activities. This is not just at Parliament Hill. This is citywide, and it's really hard to get a handle on the actual size of this thing. But we do know there are still trucks rolling in from Western Canada that have not even arrived yet. So it's just amazing.
The Ottawa municipality as well has made it no-fly zone. They've expanded it around Parliament too, so it's harder to get more footage. Hopefully, we'll be a bit more from the YouTuber 4K guy. Hopefully, but yeah, it seems to be quite difficult for anybody to be able to get some overhead shots of to get that overview, the big picture too. So it is attributing to not being able to get our full number count.
What are we looking at here, Brendan?
So I checked the lead on the information I just read to you. This is the booth in Sir John A. Macdonald Parkway, and the police officer there is blocked the Western Convoy from entering Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
So it does appear to be a still shot, but look how far back that goes. That goes and goes and goes and goes.
It's really hard to get a true sense of what's going on there, but yeah, if you really look, you can see all the trucks lined up, stacked up, right? They look small here, but that's a major traffic jam behind, and it goes all the way down all the way to the back of that image.
So it looks like these cars are moving, but the trucks are staying still, and this police car has not moved at all.
Yeah.
So there's something going on. Like there was movement on these cars here.
Well, I know that they've been trying to just keep traffic flowing in the city. They've tried to prevent major disruptions for business and for just the local residents there, so they can still get around. I have a relative who lives near downtown. She hasn't been able to go to a grocery store or really go where she normally goes in the downtown area at all because it's completely jammed with people. Now, the intent was not to shut everything down or blockade anything, but just because of the sheer number of people coming into the city, they have a problem with congestion. So police here, I guess, who knows? Is it just because they're trying to, redirect traffic and keep things flowing, or is there something more going on here?
We'll have to wait and find out, but it was definitely worth talking about and bringing to people's attention, I thought. So I could
Can we bring up a feed again?
Yeah, no problems.
From Parliament Hill, because with those speeches going on, I know that that's what most people are tuning in for here, and we should give the folks what they're looking for.
And if there is any listeners who are happening to be in that area that we just pointed out, if you can get any footage of the surrounding area that you're at, send it in. That'd be great. More eyes on the ground, the better. More cameras, more we're going to get be able to spread the information.
Okay.
I'm wondering if what if they were to just say, you know what, screw it, and they all just got out and walked.
No, you're right.
That's the trucks there.
You get them for free. I did the work for you. I highlighted them, print them off, carry them with you. And if someone tries to violate your rights, you say, I do not consent. We have Canadian Bill of Rights. We have the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We have the Immunization Act. We have the Healthcare Consent Act. We have the Privacy Act. We have the Freedom of Information and Privacy Act. We have all these acts that protect us. Use them! He taught me I have a voice, and I'm not teaching you have a voice. And you need to be a leader out there and teach others you have a voice. Use it. Take the mask off today! I love you all. Thank you for coming to Ottawa.
She's fire! She is fire and a savior of our children. All right, up we have next is Coach Vlad, another man in my Instagram feed. Before they cut him off and silence him, we'd like to give Vlad a moment and thank him for, well, so many of you, what you've done over the past 2 years. This has been a long 24 months, guys, but I think we have held the line and it's over. It's over. Vlad!
Hello, beautiful Ottawa! Come on! Let's go! Who's excited to be alive? Who's excited to be a human? I love you so much, you have no idea. My goodness. What a time to be alive. We have to be grateful for this moment in our life. Because it's perfect! Look around you! Look around you! How many of you standing shoulder to shoulder just to be proud Canadians? Come on! Let's go! If you don't know my story, I was born in Soviet Union in 1980. I represent the last generation of kids growing up in Soviet Union. I know what it is to be indoctrinated and brainwashed. Exactly what they're doing to our kids right now. And we're not gonna stand for that. We're gonna protect all kids. We will protect all kids. We will protect all kids. Make Canada free again! Each and every one of you have something powerful inside, and it's called the seed of greatness. You have that seed of greatness inside of you. It's your responsibility to reach, hold on to it, and stand your ground. No matter the hate, no matter the backlash, you have to hold your ground. If you remember the acorn, little seed, and that's what you make a huge oak tree out of. And that's who you can choose to be. You can be that oak tree that stands the ground with deep roots, with deep foundation in your
Hey, Rick, put up
beliefs
the comment
and your
by Chris.
principles. And that's exactly who you can choose to be for yourself, for your
That one?
family,
Yep,
for your
thanks.
business, for your community, and for this beautiful country of Canada. I am a father of 2 beautiful children, and I will stand my ground till my last breath without a mask for them, and I also will stand the ground for all of you kids, because that's what I get to choose to do.
I won't
No
feed the
matter
squirrel,
how
but
things show
we
up
believe in
our
free
life,
speech.
we get to choose how we show up instead, and that's the power that we have, guys. A couple of last things I want to say. I don't want to take too much time. This is exactly every one of you having conversations, doing whatever you can. This is all of us combined efforts making this. And we are present to the beautiful moment of peaceful revolution, not just in Canada. This is a peaceful revolution for the whole world. We are at the ground zero for humanity. And it is the best place to be, guys. The last thing I'm gonna say, when the times are tough, have faith. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your neighbors. Have faith in your community. And have faith in this beautiful country. This is the best country in the world, guys. And it's our responsibility to keep it glorious and free! We will not leave until this corrupt government resigns. Who's with me? We're not going back to anything. We're only going to go forward to the bright, beautiful, free future, free of corruption and tyranny, guys. This is what we're all going to do. Make sure you check out Hugs of a Mask, We All Essential, and IamFreeCanadian.ca. Let's say it with me. I am a free Canadian. I am free Canadian. I am free Canadian. I love you guys. Stay healthy, everybody.
Oh, Canada, look at us. Look at us. Thank you, Vlad. Oh, we're holding the line. I got a big lineup of speakers. Put up a little gentleman you might know who has been fighting in Ontario. His name is Mr. Derek Sloan. And thank you very much, Mr. Derek. Come share a word.
Excellent. Funny, a lot of the independent parties are showing their faces.
Now he's now with the
What
leader
an
of the
amazing
Ontario
day
party.
Today,
Yep.
what we're seeing right now
Wonder if we'll see somebody
is
from the Maverick
exactly
Party.
what Canada is meant to be. It's not about a bunch of stuffed suits sitting in that building. It's about truckers. It's about everyday Canadians that keep the food on our shelves, that grow the food, that raise children, that teach our kids. This is what Canada is about. I'm so proud to be here with all of you today. It's peaceful, it's fun-loving. If it weren't for the -15, it almost feels like summer here. It's amazing. I think we need to have an annual day of remembrance on this weekend, every year.
There you go, Justin Trudeau. You
To
can have another
commemorate
surfing holiday.
Freedom's won. We have heard today from many great speakers, but we haven't heard from Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau has been involved in other protests. He met with protesters in contravention of COVID rules when it's a purpose that suits him. He's been involved in all kinds of grand gestures and apologies. But when the largest gathering that's ever happened on Parliament Hill comes right through his door, he leaves town. He runs away. He doesn't want to talk to Canadians. He doesn't want to talk to the people. that keep this country going. He's scared. He is a fringe minority. There's someone else who isn't here today. Someone who's expressed support for truckers before. His name is Doug Ford. He was tweeting yesterday about everything under the sun, other than the biggest event to ever happen on Canadian
Canada.
soil on Parliament Hill. We need to know why our leaders are ignoring Canadians.
Good question.
Our
Definitely.
governance has been a catastrophic failure the last 2 years at every level. We must hold our politicians to account. Now, there have been many people up here talking about freedom, and I agree with every single one of them. The question is, where do we go from here? We need to have a real vehicle to implement our goals. That means actually getting involved in politics. There are real vehicles that exist to win back our country. What we're doing today is absolutely important, but we have to continue the movement, continue the momentum. Here in Ontario, we have a provincial election in only a few months. I lead a party called the Ontario Party. We're against the vaccine mandates. We're against lockdowns. We want to get fired people back to work. We want to get our children that can't go to school and get their degrees back to university. We want to bring back freedom, but also justice in this country. So don't stop today. Yes, keep this going, but join in politics. Join with the Ontario Party. Join with other parties that are fighting for freedom. And let's get this country back on track.
Running municipal elections.
I used to sit over there in that building, but I'd rather be right here with you. Thank you so much for being here today. God bless you, and God bless Canada.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, are they on fire? All the politicians want you. They want a piece of you. All right, I have a beautiful girl here. Her name is Krista. And Krista...
We lose our feed there, Brendan?
Oh,
Way to go.
Well, Derek Sloan making an impression there. And
oh, we got a
Can I
song
be your
coming up.
mic
Sorry about that.
stands? Yeah. Okay, we're just waiting on a quarter-inch patch with the XLR, and we're just doing some
well, it's
techie
just
business. So we're holding the line here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I think they're done. Like, they'll just patch you in. We're good. I also have another organizer from adoptatrucker.ca. Adoptatrucker.ca would like to announce that masking is over, and you just need to tell everybody that we're done. We are done. We are so done. It's over. It's over. I don't want to see another mask on anyone's face unless you are in the OR doing a very important surgery. No more masks. It's done. It's done. And we are we're giving our government a mandate now, aren't we? Look at us. We are mandating our government. Masks are done and their mandates are over. And we will run you out of town. Look what we did. We ran the Prime Minister out of town because he is too afraid to deal with the people. He is not the man we are looking for. not the man we are looking for. Are we getting sound yet? Okay, we're just checking the guitar. I fucking love those guys in the back. You know, it's kind of like we're in an episode of Star Trek and Captain Kirk has lost his mind. And it took the boys in the engineering room to come up from downstairs. And they came up and they said, this man is, and I guess we're going to have to put him in a meat truck and take him out of here. But thanks to the boys in the engineering room, our truckers have removed the captain from the flight deck. How are we doing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, baby. Okay, Krista, guys, give her some love.
Thank you, Bethan. Can we just give a round of applause to all these amazing people organizing these speeches? Thank you, Bethan, so much. Amazing. Wow, what an absolute honor and privilege to be among such a small fringe minority. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Just to tell you a quick story, I had the dream of a lifetime pass by my very eyes because I auditioned for Canada's Got Talent. I got on the show, but because I wasn't vaccinated, they said goodbye. It was really sad, man. It was really sad.
I'm sure they'd say the same thing about you.
Okay. So this song is called Smile. I wrote it. Woo! I wrote this song because I'm so sick and tired of not seeing people smile. Thank you. Here we go. My guitar's frozen. Bear with me. Is it over? This welcome down. It could be simple. Gonna say your side. Praying to change.
Chris, what do you have on your feed over there? Is there anything?
Nothing major. Just live wandering around. Probably the surrounding areas a little bit.
Can we just flip over to that while...
There's no audio, so...
That's okay. We can just comment on that while the song progresses there. So this is seen around Parliament Hill right now, not far from where the speeches are taking place. And you can see all the trucks parked. And cars are still able to move, but there is a lot of congestion.
So you said that you know somebody who lives down there and that they have not been able to get any groceries or anything because it's too congested?
Yeah, that's what I understand. She hasn't been able to get to the grocery store. I believe that's the Rideau Center. So that's the downtown shopping mall that's attached to the Westin Hotel and the Shaw Convention Center.
Is that the mall from yesterday?
Yes.
So
and as I understand, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. The final word on, so there was a whole bunch of people who were inside there and they weren't masked or whatever. So even the mayor had commented about this, but they were like, they just kicked everybody out of the mall and closed the mall early.
Yes, I did see that. We had footage of that yesterday. And, you know, a lot of the businesses, a lot of the businesses downtown were told that they should be worried about violence, and they were convinced to shut their businesses down. And so a lot of businesses in the downtown area of Ottawa have decided to close during this. But as you've seen, the crowd has been peaceful. And if anything, I'll tell you, if I was a shop owner down there, I would have been sure to open up because look at all the people you have downtown.
Yep.
I would have quadrupled my stock, made a killing.
Right.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, a bird in hand's better than two in a bush.
Well, leave
Right.
it to left-wing, liberal, socialist, communist politicians to tell people how to run their business by closing your door and locking it. Don't let any customers in.
Yeah.
These are not the people who are going to burn your business down.
Well,
These are not the people who protest that way. That's not their game.
And remember the last lockdown mandates they had, protests they had in Toronto. The NDP leader had labeled them all as right-wing extremists, and they were just walking down the street like.
Yeah, they might be looking for a burger.
That's dangerous.
Maybe a pair of warm mittens because it's so cold outside. But
that's dangerous too.
You know, you want to be careful of that guy waving that Canadian flag. He's just a little too patriotic, or the guy wearing the hockey jersey there because, you know, he just loves Team Canada way too much. And, you know, there's just way too much patriotism on the streets. Very dangerous. Better close your business because you wouldn't want to let any of these patriots in. You wouldn't want to let any of these, you know, Canada-loving, peace-loving, law-abiding Canadian citizens patronize your business. You need to be afraid of these people. Better lock her down, have another good lockdown while all these people come in, you know. But hey, you know what? McDonald's is open. But if you've got an independent restaurant, better keep that sucker closed. I'm sure McDonald's is doing a booming business. And what's more Canadian than Tim Hortons, right? Everybody's lining up to get their Timmies. And, well, they wear their Canadian flags. There's more Canadian flags, more and more Canadian flags. I don't know, gentlemen, this nationalism, it's just too much to bear.
I have not seen so many Canada flags in one place, let alone Quebec flags. Like, Quebec is so well represented here. I was almost under the impression that they loved their tyranny there a lot. So I'm surprised to see that.
Well, you know, here's what was that comment? Let's go back to that because that's just. Here we go. Thank you, Rots, again. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that comment. You are a true intellect.
Oh, I think he has more than that if you go up there. Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know, only certain doctors, though, right? Rots again? Yeah, I'm full of hate. I love the country, and I love all the people down there, and I even love you. I even love you.
He's telling that to the Rots again guy.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Rots. Okay, I love both those guys. I love Rots again too. He's just misguided.
Very misguided.
Here's a quick overview of some overshot footage from yesterday.
Let's bring that up.
Which one? There it is.
Let's go back to your stream there for a moment, Brendan, and see what's going on.
Sure, I'll play her.
Sure. It's just still music. That's okay. Let's see if we can get a better live feed. Can you do a quick search, Brendan? Could you do that? Let's see if we can get something current, something happening right now. A good live feed from Parliament Hill.
All right, we got speakers again.
Okay. Whoa, look at that overview shot, though, eh? Yeah.
Years.
Yeah, when we get a moment of pause, we can go back through. It's only a minute clip.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to play it? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, release that video, sure.
But it didn't need to be quite as awful.
It's playing.
We could have had other measures in place and being actively used right from the beginning. But only now is the information coming out. It's pretty sad. But I'd like to go back to some happier memories of mine. I was emergency doc for 25 years. Some of it in Ottawa, some about it in Vancouver and Kelowna. So I know emergency medicine. I know the need to say hello, to meet, greet, and treat our patients. And among the things that I did, I put chest tubes in car accident victims. I diagnosed heart attacks. I saved patients from overdose. But very importantly, as ER docs, we started antibiotics or antiviral therapies for infectious disease patients. As I say, we lumped all of our activities in which we might see 35 patients in a day or a shift into the following mantra: meet them, greet them, treat them, and street them.
because hopefully a lot of our patients got to go home and they were well enough and they didn't have to come into the hospital. But of the 4 things I mentioned, the most important thing was to treat. What use is it to go to a medical doctor if they can't treat you? We need to let the doctor and the patient together decide what is the best acceptable treatment to reduce the stress and risk of their active infection. Other doctors were on the stage about 2 hours ago. They're marvelous people. They're heroes to me. They're specialized individuals who have been able to point out that significant treatments, which were very safe, were not allowed to be used. If these medications were used in the pre-thrombosis stage, hospitalizations were virtually completely avoidable. You know what these 2 baseline medications are. You followed the news, or when you can get it from sources that aren't too bizarre. Ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine were proven by high-level U.S. military researchers to be massively effective against SARS-CoV-1. That was known in 2016. 2016, all of the agencies knew that the best antivirals sitting there ready to go if there was ever a viral pandemic were hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. These just didn't come into the picture a couple of years later or in the midst of the pandemic. They were completely known in 2016. But a certain doctor named Fauci in the south of us, he wanted to ignore it. He had personal reasons for wanting to ignore it. He had personal reasons for wanting to hide the source and the mechanism of this pandemic occurring. And so he and others went to great lengths to say that antiviral treatments just shouldn't be used. And they put out fake information involving its lack of safety, and it was completely fake. I prescribed hydroxychloroquine 35 years ago to patients going to Vietnam who wanted to not get malaria. So they took it for 4 weeks. They took that drug for 4 weeks, they and their children, to safely not get malaria. They all came back happy, had a lovely holiday. No sickness, no heart complications. Hydroxychloroquine has been safe for decades. Ivermectin is also a form of an antiviral, although it works by a different mechanism.
We're probably
but
up
again,
to
the U.S. military researchers found it to be safe, spoke to its safety, and recommended its use if there was ever a pandemic of a COVID type. You don't think this is a COVID type? I think we've been told for 2 years this is a COVID type infection, right? Well, the proof was there that it was perfectly safe. And my next set of heroes from out of the United States have been using it aggressively. These names you will know: Dr. Pierre Corey, internist, USA; Dr. Peter McCullough, cardiologist, USA; Dr. Mary T. Bowden, fabulous intensive care specialist, Houston, USA. Dr. Bowden has saved about 1,000 patients through her pre-hospital clinic and continues to do to this moment. Now, they're smart people. They're smart enough for me to respect their opinions and their reasons for having their opinions. You're smart people because you've observed and you know some of the things that they've told you on the internet or YouTube or wherever they've managed to get the message out to. But it doesn't need to be that way. There's many countries where it's being used aggressively and appropriately. Sorry for having to be people who use notes, but you know, unaccustomed as I am to public speaking.
Thank you for the truth! Thank you for the truth! Thank you for the truth!
And it is the truth.
Thank you for the truth!
All right, here's a bit more truth. the following countries have allowed ivermectin to be used regularly in their population: India, Argentina, Brazil, Japan, among others. And in the case of Japan, would you say it's a fairly advanced country? You know, they're able to run an Olympics. They've got an incredible downtown and a city of 18 million people. I think they're pretty sophisticated. Well, 8 months ago, when the government finally said to their physicians, we encourage you to actively use ivermectin in the safety of this pandemic. And at that point, their rate of infection dropped in half within 2 weeks of beginning to use it. And those rates have continued to remain low and manageable because they used it. And, you know, it's not that you can go to the store and get it. Doctors do know dosing. We do how to know to give an appropriate medication. People who call this horse medicine, they're idiots. Just because your doctor gives you some Benadryl and in a different setting gives your cat some Benadryl, does it make it cat medicine? No, it's just Benadryl. So if you take human-grade Benadryl in an appropriate dose, you're safe. Equally, if you take human-grade, prescribed by a doctor, ivermectin, you're perfectly safe. Oh, and by the way, you won't die of COVID.
Thank you for the truth! 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 Thank you for the truth!
Well, you're welcome for the truth, and I'm going to share one very important truth that we all got to learn of today if we were looking on our cell phones yesterday or our televisions today. Yesterday, Sweden banned the viral treatment, the mRNA treatment, the vaccines for children 5 to 11. Children 5 to 11.
I read that.
And it wasn't a political decision. It wasn't a crowd making the decision. This is the most serious scientists of Sweden deciding that the risks to children are so high compared to the minimal assistance of getting the vaccine. In fact, the approximate ratio is there's 100 children that have to get significantly ill from the vaccine to prevent one child from getting COVID.
All lives matter! All lives matter! All lives matter! All lives matter!
Well, in any case, that's all the news I've got for you. I really praise Sweden for stepping forward and making it illegal and wrong and impossible for a child 12 and under to receive this vaccine. I expect Sweden to change it so that even 17 and below is stopped within the next 2 weeks. It's just too damaging. In conclusion, I just want to say that you all have the rights to your employment. You have the rights to cross between borders. You have the rights to be safe, but you also have the right to decide what goes into your body.
And that's what this protest is really all about.
One more page. Hang in with me. I guess my final point is, and it's certainly not about vaccines, it's simply about that the pandemic can be over in a couple of weeks. We can stop the most dangerous mandate. The most dangerous mandate was not the mandates of the last 6 months. The most dangerous mandate was the mandate of 18 months ago. The mandate of 18 months ago that prevented me from a doctor from giving a safe, normal couple of medications that would reduce someone's infection time from 14 days down to 3 or 4. And you know what? If you can keep it down to days 3 and 4 instead of 14, they don't get to day 14 because we all know what happens after that. Day 14 and beyond, you're in the ICU, and that's it. So, therapeutics could have been in place, should have been in place, but it doesn't stop it from starting now. You can write the Canadian Medical Association. You can write the colleges of all the doctors in Canada. You can write the Canadian Pharmacy Association, which has cooperated with the other agencies to prevent doctors. I only wanted to do one thing a year and a half ago. I wanted to cure a few patients. I wanted to save a few patients. And the medical agencies prevented it. God bless you.
ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, here on this hill, there's a lot of ivermectin dealers in the far corners. So if you're looking for some ivermectin, go check by the west block. There's some dealers over at the east block. We're having none of it. Early treatment is the way. Get it in ya. It's good for ya. I'll hand the virus over to Dagny here.
Please consult your doctor. Don't do things like
So
that.
Bethan, who's your dealer?
Yeah.
I got a few doctors right here. We can get ivermectin. We'll get you ivermectin, but it's better to get it off the black market.
Yeah, it's treading some fairy water there. Just a little bit.
On the down low. The mainstream media is gonna just tear us to pieces. All right. So next up, we're going to have a medical professional from Frontline Nurses. And before, just for 1 second. OK. On aimerait remercier tous nos orateurs ici aujourd'hui. Il et elles sont ici grâce à vous, grâce à notre mouvement et grâce aux camionneurs. Et on aimerait souligner le fait que c'est grâce à nos camionneurs qu'on est ici. They came from far and wide, and anything that we find around us on store shelves, the gas that you put in your vehicles, it's all thanks to our truckers. Merci, camionneurs. So we have Kristen Nagel here, an amazing nurse and freedom fighter, the co-founder of Frontline Nurses. Thank you.
Hello, Canada! Let's just say hello, the world. All eyes are on Canada right now. And I am so emotional, been in and out of crying just for weeks, leading up to this, for days, and right now. So bear with me. You guys have to do an exercise I do at all my local rallies. So I'm going to start on this side. I need you to repeat after me. I am free. 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 And everyone all together. I am free. So my name is Kristen Nagel. There's a lot of people here. Many might not know my story or who I am. I'm a nurse of 14 years that worked in the NICU. That's with premature babies that fit in the size of my hand. I first held a freedom rally in my hometown in London, Ontario, November 2020. The media ripped me apart, said I was a dangerous nurse putting premature babies at risk. The media destroyed me, but it wasn't going to stop me. I found another Canadian nurse, and the two of us traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet up with 4 other American nurses. And we spoke on a health and freedom stage with people like Kevin Jenkins, Del Bigtree, and Mickey Willis. Do you know what day that was? That was January 6th. We were nowhere near the Capitol. We were at the Supreme Court. I actually was there and had no idea what was happening. But when we flew home, we were deemed domestic terrorists. We had the RCMP show up at our doorstep because they wanted to know our involvement in the storming of the Capitol. I have had nursing schools teach their nursing students about what not to do. Don't do what Kristen Nagel did and storm the Capitol. We were defamed internationally across the media, but it didn't stop us. We formed the Canadian Frontline Nurses and have been advocating ever since.
That's the tactic they use.
I may be a nurse, but I am a mother first. And this is not the Canada that I wanted my boys to grow up in, nor for any of the children. We are not a country discrimination. We are Canadian, and we are proud, and we are peaceful, and we are loving, just like we are showing the world these past few days, and this is just the start. This is the Canada I want my boys and our future generations to grow up in. We've had people that stayed up all night shoveling the Parliament walkway here. People are cleaning up garbage. People are making sure people have food, rooms, showers, bathrooms. They're looking out for each other. This is Canada. This is uniting, and we are uniting the world. We have felt alone in this movement, like we weren't making any difference. And my heart, I am so full of emotion because we just felt like one person, and an enormity of the size of these trucks showing up, bringing Canada together. You guys have our backs. Thank you, truckers! I'm gonna wrap it up. I know there's a lot of amazing speakers, so just bear with me because I think this is important to end on because it speaks to my heart. So this is 1 John 4 from verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Because fear has to do with punishment, and the one who fears is not perfect in love. So what are we here? We are Canadian, and we are here with love. Love is what drives out evil and this hate. We are going to win this with love. We are going to win this with staying peaceful. We're going to win this with being higher than them. We are love. And just remember, it doesn't end here in Ottawa. It doesn't end here when you leave this Parliament. It doesn't end when you go back home. Enough is enough. We are here. The people have spoken. We have drawn the line, and we are free. There's no more complying. We are done. So take off the masks, stop consenting, and remember, what did we start with? I am free. Thank you very much, Canada. Thank you to everyone that's here and watching abroad. Thank you to the world. Thank you for all your support. And thank you, truckers!
Hello! It's an emergency. Oh my goodness, we've got like so many more amazing speakers, and it's getting hectic here, guys. And you know, our poor audio-visual team, we'd like to thank Advantage Audio and Wallace Sound for bringing us decent sound today. And if you ever need a crane, go see that guy get his card. You never know, you might have a big job in your backyard next summer. That's your guy. All right, yeah, that's your guy too. All right, do we have our emergency response team, or is it just Bulford? We got just Bulford. You guys might know this man. He's another famous Canadian. I'd like to introduce one of the sweetest, most incredible, driven, strong, passionate men in the world. He's got also backed by an extraordinary wife. Where is she? Is she right down there? Is she Piper? Where is she? Piper, I see you. All right, yeah. Hi, family! Bulford family! I'll hand it over to Daniel Bulford.
so much, everyone. I'm going to be very brief. I don't have anything real magical prepared. I've been really busy. Ran up the hill to come get my quick little speech in.
Awesome. Yeah, and folks, I'm having a hard time seeing the hate here. I don't see the hate.
I've been up here many, many times for events in the last 8 years. Not quite like this. For anyone who may not know who I am, my name is Danny Bulford. I just resigned from 15 years with the RCMP as a result of this. I've been a spokesperson for Mounties for Freedom since the fall. And I've also been working with another group, you've had some of their speakers up here already, called Taking Back Our Freedoms. The amazing Paul Alexander and Brian Dennison and George Bears, and the list goes on and on. Dr. Jessica Rose. It's surreal, the people I've come into contact with as a result of all this. Incredible people that were very heroic, very early, speaking out against what we all can see was wrong with what the government was doing, with the authoritarian style overreach into our private lives.
Yes!
It's been a real roller coaster. I've had many ups, many downs. I really was on the fence a number of times about getting my family out of here. And I can tell you right now, nothing has given me this much hope in a long time. The elites didn't factor in the grit and the courage and the resilience of the working Canadian men and women. I love you all. God bless our truckers. And God bless all of you for coming down here and showing what freedom and unity and Canada is all about. I will never, ever forget what happened here today. I will never, ever stop being eternally grateful for what each and every one of you has done to make this come together and to keep this safe and lawful and peaceful so that they can't lay any of their derogatory terms on us. There is no way this many people are a fringe minority. Look around. Look at the diversity in this crowd. We are all here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to demand that we have our freedom over our bodily autonomy.
Yeah!
There is more truckers. A lot of them have been blocked from getting into the city. It's been hard to get footage of that as well.
I refuse to stand by and do nothing and allow my children to grow up in a country where their government can tell them what they have to do with their body. Not happening.
That's powerful words.
My choice, my body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body,
thank you, everyone, from the deepest recess of my heart. I just want to say one more thing. Some might agree, some might not. But I know a lot of the incredible men and women up here that are here to keep us safe. I know that there might be mixed views, but I can tell you I've worked with many of them and they are great people. I've been filtering messages nonstop. People worried that something is going to happen. It's like, not from us. And I can assure you they are here to keep us safe. That's the only reason I was ever up here, was to keep good, law-abiding, peaceful, loving Canadians safe. God bless our first responders and God bless our truckers!
Daniel Bulford! Thank you, former corporal, standing on guard for thee. Oh, we love him, we love him, we love him. He's been absolutely key on our adopter trucker team. We would have fallen apart 5 days ago if it weren't for Danny. All right, we have some emergency first responders who have written a song for y'all, and they're all a little stage shy, but they're quite lovely boys.
Hey,
what,
Rick.
what? No,
I
they're
got
not
some
coming.
clips from Germany
Okay, so let
of
me
some
hand
protests
this
that
over
are
to this
happening right now
handsome
too. If we
gentleman,
want to
and he's gonna
clip
do
those
the
in while
introduction.
we're, let me just pull it up here while they do their song here.
You have audio?
It might not be very
My name's
loud, but at
Warren
least there'll be
Oates,
something
Why
in the
don't you send
background.
the
And
link to
Danny
Brendan?
Bulford is my
You can
boss.
bring it up in his
We're
speed, or
here
send it to
on
me and I'll bring it up
the
in mine.
safety
I'll throw it in the
team.
private chat here.
We're firefighters. And we're here just to make sure that people are safe. We got your backs, and I'm introducing a bunch of the most beautiful guys I know. So, we wrote a song,
One.
and we're going to play it now, and we're going to get on with the program.
And number 2. It's from the Rupley channel, and
I've got it.
nice. Both of them are from the same thing, 2 different videos or feeds. It looks like. No, same clip.
Okay, we can, I'll have that feed up in just a moment.
No problem. We'll rush. I'm just surfing, seeing if I can find anything else anywhere else.
Well, we're looking at shots inside the crowd here around Parliament Hill. We've just seen speeches conclude. There will be, I think, more speeches in the.
I think my guitar is
very,
ready
very.
for the cold weather.
Yeah, they're gonna speak again here in a few minutes, but as we get things organized up on the stage, we do have some footage from Germany coming up. Let's just pop into this. Are you there, Chris?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. remove Brendan. He's not there at the moment. So let me remove that as well. I'm going to pull that footage from Germany up so we can take a quick look at what's going on there.
Now I'm taking the translation at its word because I don't know German very well. But it's quite the crowd out there as well. So like it's just kind of a bit of a hey, just to remind everyone this isn't just in Canada. As a lot of our commenters have said, the world seems to be watching, and we're getting a lot of support from a lot of people watching from other countries, as well as protests and stuff beginning and doing the same thing that we're doing.
Now, this is a feed from Rupley, which is, for full disclosure, a subsidiary of the RT News network, which is Russian. So this is just raw footage, I believe, from Germany. And this shows that these protests are really worldwide this weekend. And Canadian truckers and the people there supporting the truckers and the Canadians supporting truckers across Canada are not alone. There are people around the world who are fed up with these mandates. And these kinds of protests we've seen happening around the world for a while. This is actually edited footage, you can tell. I thought it was raw footage, but it is not. So they're feeding through edited images.
And I did receive a photo, or Lauren Chen did send out a photo yesterday of a whole convoy of Americans that aren't truckers that are en route to Ottawa currently. So this is something that's international. It's
Do you have
everywhere.
that footage? Should I bring that up now? Is that we have, Brendan?
I just have a picture.
Okay. This is still Germany, and we'll pop over here now and see what Brendan has for us.
Just a moment, if I may. Oh, there it is.
Okay. Oh, we lost it, I guess.
No.
The crowd in Ottawa is actually still growing, and as we reported just a short time ago, they're not letting people into the city now, the city of Ottawa. Isn't that right, Brendan?
There's routes that are looking like they're blocked off. I have been paying attention to that traffic cam. There's still no movement. Lines and row and row and row and row of trucks. No movement. It looks like the intersection of Sir John A. Macdonald and whatever it was there. It looks like it was closed last night. They said there was an open. They said there was an accident, and then they said it was open again last night. That's what I found on Twitter. But yeah, there's that image of thousands of trucks just lined up forever.
So this is on the Canada-U.S. border, and these are people, Americans, trying to get to Ottawa to support the trucker protest. And look at the size of that line. Unbelievable. Is any of this going to work, guys? Are the politicians going to listen? Are what is it going to take?
There hasn't been anything on Twitter. Like, if you look at Twitter, like, Jagmeet Singh is the only one who was, like, raging at it. But Justin Trudeau didn't say anything. Doug Ford didn't say anything. What's his name? O'Toole. He hasn't really said anything other than he condemns the things that the mainstream media is pouring out there and that liberals are crying about. but you're not seeing any affirmative anything from anybody except Pierre Poilievre, MP Leanne Rood, who is what is that? Lambton Middlesex. She's a Conservative MP. She has posted her pictures with her and truckers too. But other than that, it's like you have a few rogue Conservative MPs that are vocal about this, but you don't see anything from any of the Liberal Party or anything like that. It's just total silence, dead crickets. And Doug Ford, I'm actually kind of shocked about that. It's been this much crickets from him.
Why does that surprise you? It doesn't surprise me at all.
It surprises me because I expected him to more or less. I expected him to more or less. What would be the word for it? To be like, guys, go home, stop this, or something like that.
Yeah, well, I think that when something like this happens, he's not a strong leader, and I think he's very indecisive at times, and I think people tell him what to do a lot of the time. He's not thinking for himself, and so my guess is he doesn't know what the heck to do when something like this happens. One of the leaders who has been speaking out is Maxime Bernier. Now we saw Max speak up on stage just a little while ago, and last night he joined us on our live feed, and I've viewed that brief interview with him, and I'd like to play that for the folks right now because I know a lot of the people watching today would have missed that last night. Max made himself available to us and it was a surprise. Thank you to Brian Everett, the PPC candidate up in Sarnia Lambton, who brought Max over to get him on the feed with us, and it happened just at the end of our feed last night. So we'd like to play that for you right now.
Yeah, we were wrapping up and calling it quits, and then Brian jumped on.
That's right, and then they dialed in and they got our link, and here it is.
Guys doing? I got a surprise here. I've got I know Jim had talked. I've got a surprise. Look who I have with me, guys.
Hey!
I've got Maxime Bernier with me. We can't hang very long because we're kind of at a dinner with all the PPC people up here after the marching and parading going on. But go ahead if you've got a couple questions you want to ask Max. You guys feel free. We'll answer a couple. We can't be around for long because we've got our wives and stuff here. But go for it if you got a couple.
Oh, awesome! You want to take the lead there, Brendan? Go ahead.
So I wanted to ask you, do you think that this is a pivotal point in everything you've been fighting for over the past year?
Oh, I believe so. You know, after more than 2 years now, people are fed up with that. And I believe that it is a strong message for these establishment politicians. They will have to do something as soon as possible. We cannot have all these mandates for another month or 2 months. I strongly believe that it's a new beginning for us, and that's a great time. You know, minus 20 on the Hill and all these people over there, peacefully, I must say, peacefully. They're just it's not a protest anymore, it's a rally. People are happy, they're happy to be there, and they know that something is happening in our country now.
Do we have enough resilience, the resources, the stamina to stick this out? Because it seems like the Prime Minister is digging his heels in and doesn't want to budge on this issue.
Yeah, but you know, I look at some news, and the Premier of Saskatchewan said that he will end the mandate soon. So, you know, something is happening, and I believe that Trudeau will have to listen to his population. He cannot continue to divide people against each other, you know, vaccinated one, unvaccinated one. I was very surprised today on the Hill. A lot of people came to me, Max, I have two shots, and I won't take the third one. I'm with you. I don't recognize my country anymore. So we're doing that fight. So that's why we have a momentum, and we're gonna win that. It's a question of time.
So I wanted to comment on this because I really love this, that Justin Trudeau thought that Ottawa was too scary for politicians today, but there you are in a crowd of people. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God, that was great. It's sad a little bit, that I was the only one there on the hill with everybody. These establishment politicians are supposed to represent the population, and they were not in Ottawa. They were not there. They were not on the hill. And actually, as you know, the session will start next week. So why? They were afraid to meet Canadians, and but I can tell you that I believe that these politicians will understand. I hope so. You when you fight for something, and like I said, we are on the right side of the history, and I know that we will win that because the truth is always winning, and that's the beginning. They cannot lie to us anymore. Take 2 shots and everything will be okay. You won't catch COVID-19. That was a lie. When 70% of the population will be double vaxxed, that you will regain your freedoms. That was a lie. They lie to us all the time, and now we have a pandemic of vaccinated people, and we are reaching real herd immunity, and that's the end of this pandemic. The pressure is coming from inside, from Canadians, but also from outside in other countries, like in UK, like in Texas, Florida. So the pressure is coming from maybe, I don't know, question of weeks, I believe so.
Question of weeks. So,
thank you, guys.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Okay. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Max.
Okay. Thanks, Maxie. Okay.
So there you have it. That was Maxime Bernier last night, joining us live during our coverage at the end of our broadcast last night. A matter of weeks is what he is predicting for the fall of these mandates.
Does look like we have some speakers back up on the flatbed there whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let's get the feed up there. Maybe throw it over to Brendan, if you would.
It's the same pages. It seems to be on YouTube. This is the top 3 main streaming pages for raw/live footage, it seems.
Okay.
It would be between, I believe, Ottawa Walks, and Convoy to Ottawa channel. So big shout out to all those guys again.
There we go.
Thank you for sharing your feed with us.
We appreciate it.
Making it available to us. As we share with our viewers, we've had thousands of people from all over the world watching this weekend.
Is this not what it's about? Unity! Unity for the people and for those children. So here, we're just going to sing a couple songs, and I'm going to let the mic over to Linda.
Well, they sing these songs, gentlemen. I think maybe we'll just dump out of that because there is some other stuff that I know, Brendan, you wanted to talk about the Terry Fox memorial issue, and I want to draw attention to this Nazi flag thing that the mainstream media has tried to draw attention to. So you go ahead. Can we deal with that now? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine to deal with that now. So everybody knows about the Terry Fox statue where somebody put a Team Canada hockey hat on his head and put an upside-down Canada flag in his hand and a Canadian flag cape around his neck and put a sign in his hands that said, "Mandate freedom." The media has... What was their word for it again? They people
defaced or desecrated.
Desecrated. So I was kind of upset about this. This whole thing has been going on, and there hasn't been a single monument that was ripped down. And for the past 2 years or more, they've been ripping down all kinds of different statues.
When
I
you
don't
say
even-
they, who's been ripping down the statues?
Usually like Antifa or alt-left extremists,
Yeah.
we'll call them.
Uh-huh.
And there's Terry there.
So that's what was done to the Terry Fox statue in Ottawa.
Do I think that's distasteful? Sure, it is kind of distasteful.
To a degree, yeah.
Is it desecrating?
Mm.
Is it destruction?
Well, I would say it'd be by definition more desecration than defacing, because it would be disgracing the original symbol. But again, it's only partially.
Can we please look up a definition of desecrate?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to mean what.
Desecration. Desecration. That's a pretty strong word. I saw the word adorned used by one media outlet. It was adorned.
That works.
The
desecration
Dictionary of Cambridge says the action of damaging or showing no respect towards something holy or very much respected. So I would say it doesn't classify because it's not damaging and it's not showing no respect. It is actually using it as a bit of a reference to furthermore the respect of being Canadian.
They're draping the Canadian flag on a Canadian hero. They put a Team Canada hat on him. They're politicizing to some degree the statue by putting a sign in his hands. And of course, the statue has no free will. So whether Terry would have endorsed the truckers or not remains to be seen. The people on the other side of this issue are suggesting that Terry Fox would not have supported the truckers because he supported science. And, well, maybe, who knows where he would have come down on this issue. Should the people have done that? I'm sort of in favor of leaving statues alone, but I don't think that any of these people on the left, after the tearing down of statues across this country and the burning of churches, which they say is understandable, I don't think they have a leg to stand on. A terrible choice of words, and I apologize profusely for saying that. Poor choice of words, but they just don't have any. It just doesn't hold water for me. I'm sorry. I don't agree with them doing this, but there are degrees of things, and to use a word like desecration in the media, that's just wrong.
And
it's over.
So when I was spewing around on Twitter Space last night, the Terry Fox Foundation tweeted this out. The Terry Fox Foundation is proud to continue Terry's mission of funding cancer research. Terry believed in science and gave his life to help others. Thank you for all our supporters to help us work towards Terry's dream, etc., etc. So they're saying that we're all anti-science and that all of our opinion is garbage because it's not supported by the lamestream media. So science is all about asking questions, and lots of people have been asking questions over the past 2 years, and nobody's getting any answers. So they'll always tell us one thing, but then the results show another thing. Their science is not working anymore.
Yeah, well, the numbers just have never added up. From it's supposed to be 95% effective for the vaccine to, it's not quite as effective as we thought, but if you get it, you won't get COVID, to, you can get it, but you can't really transmit it, so you have to protect others, and now you can get it and you can transmit it, so it doesn't prevent infection, it doesn't prevent transmission. But if you get it, you won't get as sick, and I don't know how you find the proof for that. Some people are saying, yeah, I'm glad I got it because I didn't get that sick. But we know that this variant isn't as, it doesn't cause as illness into the same degree. So is it that, or is it because the people have been vaccinated? We don't know. I don't think there is much science behind some of this stuff. So anyway, back to the statue. I don't know. There was a lot of pearl clutching going on yesterday over this and into today. And Brendan, you just wanted to talk about this. So Please have at it.
So I'm just really disappointed. So I'm quite a fan of history, and it's my understanding in Victoria, British Columbia, a couple years back in 2017, they had taken a statue of James Cook, Captain James Cook of the Royal Navy, and they had thrown it into the ocean. The park space is now entirely closed. If you look up, if you Google Captain Cook statue, Victoria, BC, it says permanently closed. If anybody who has any understanding of history whatsoever would know that Captain Cook was raised as a common person. He worked his way up through the Royal Navy. He is one of the first, I believe he might even be the second common people to become a Royal Navy captain. It's just unheard of. When he was doing his explorations, the Royal Geographic Society made explicit mandates to at all costs not use firearms against Indigenous people for the lands that you travel to and you explore to. So they took this symbol and they deemed it a symbol of racism and colonialism, and they threw it in the garbage. And then everybody cheered and applauded it. It makes no sense. And then this happens. I made a comment last night. All of a sudden, liberals care about statues. So we can only have statues that liberals like, and we can't have statues that other people like too. It's this fringe minority gets to decide what statues are good or bad.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't be a person who would go down and do this, but it's not defaced permanently. It's not like when I heard it was desecrated, immediately I thought, oh my God, somebody spray painted Terry Fox. I was appalled. That's what it's all about. They've been looking for anything. And this is what they got. And this is what they're using to try to smear the whole demonstration and smear all the truckers, right? All those right-wing Nazi, fascist, sexist, misogynistic, racist truckers. All those hayseed hicks, right? The toothless dummies. That's what this is. This is what the attempt is, and this is the best they've got. Well, except one other thing. There's another thing we're going to show in a moment. But any thoughts on this, Chris?
I've already really said what I had to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So be careful, because these guys might put a Canadian flag on your statue. Yeah, it's all right. Okay. What can I say? Now, there was another thing, a Nazi flag.
Yes, I saw a picture of one floating around.
So let's see if we can find that image, because I noticed today that it's not getting any ranking on Google. Okay.
It's because nobody cares for Nazis.
Well, it's not
rightfully
that. I don't think that's what it is. Let's see. I've got it here somewhere. So let's just comment on this. Here it is. Okay.
Send the links, Julian.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen.
Yep, that's the one that's flying around.
Okay. Really? These guys are truckers? These guys are truckers?
Good luck crossing the border with a flag like that.
These guys are truckers. Are you really? So the guy with the Nazi flag, these guys all got together, right? And then they sat around and they said, "Hey, we're going, hey, fellow truckers, let's get out our Nazi flag and our F Trudeau flags, and we'll all run down to the protest and wave these around, and this will win over the people. This will bring an end to the mandates for sure. Great idea, guys. Let's all go." These guys are truckers. These guys are the people. Okay.
Well, they're so happy.
I hardly think so.
They're so
I
happy.
hardly think so.
They're so happy to spread this one around, but there was protests against Israel last May, and there was Palestinian protests, and Palestinians literally had signs with Nazi flags and an equal sign against the Star of David.
These guys are all dressed in black. They've got Antifa written all over them or whatever, okay? But they're not. It's just, come on. This is what you've got. These guys, I want them arrested because I want to know who they are. And I'm certain, I don't think anybody down at that rally is supporting anything like this. And they're not down with the rest of the crowd. They're separated. They're further away. I've seen another image where it's like taken by some media guy from quite a distance. And like KU says, DuckDuckGo. Yes, you can find it there because as of today, last night, this thing was trending. I found this first in the Vancouver Sun. Okay. And I at first went, oh my God. And then I really looked at it and then I started to laugh. This is a joke. This is a joke.
This is a sick joke.
These guys, they couldn't drive a truck if their life depended on it. If they drive, they probably don't even have driver's licenses because they're living in their mama's basement, and they don't want to drive because they don't believe that because they don't want to damage the climate. They're worried about climate change. And I'll tell you, if they do drive anything, it sure as heck isn't a truck. It's a Prius. Okay, so I can't help it, but I have to laugh at this. This is a freaking joke.
There's so many things wrong with the image, like so many things wrong with it, like how far away it is. Like you would think that like somebody would go ask some questions or something.
Well, I don't support anybody that waves around a damn Nazi flag, okay? Nobody. These guys, though, come on. They're down there. This was a setup. You can smell it. You can see it. If you can't see it, oh my God, you need help. This is a joke. It makes me laugh. And this is also disgusting. These jokers are not truckers. I want them arrested. I want them found, and I want to know who they are. And if they are with the freedom movement down there, I'll eat my undergotchies. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now that these guys ain't with those people. They're not with the Church of God. Okay? They're just not. They're not with the they're not with the moms and the dads who are taking their kids skating on the canal in between speeches. Oh my God. And we know that this is the kind of crap that they pull. We know. So I'm sorry, folks, but come on.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty hard to let such small, insignificant things really blemish the entirety of this. Like it's, as we all know, with any protest or demonstration, they always use the most unfavorable to paint the rest of the group.
Yeah,
it's just easier. It's fun to do when you don't have to use context or be held accountable for anything.
And now they're now kind of I can't make it pop up on Google. It was all over Google last night. Today I can't make it pop up. You go to DuckDuckGo, it's there.
Yeah, the algorithm got to it
because they know. And I saw something else about a guy with a Confederate flag, and apparently I saw a post that said he'd been arrested, found, and I don't know. Anyway, it's all a bunch of blah blah blah.
That's what it is. It's a bunch of blah blah blah. They're throwing darts out there and seeing what sticks. Like, and with this type of thing, we've seen these psyops already. Like, they had a bunch of white supremacists show up for Glenn Youngkin in the States for his Republican campaign, and they were holding tiki torches and stuff, but they were all operatives working for the Democrat Party.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've got these guys. If you're watching, these guys holding the flags up there. If you're watching, just rubies.com, rubies.com. They have better costumes there for you guys, okay? You might want to check out Ruby's Halloween costumes, because you might find a trucker outfit that might work a little bit better for you. Oh my. Anyway,
Has
I'm
anybody
sorry.
actually seen footage of, so supposedly somebody was dancing on the grave of the unknown soldier?
I did. Now, I only saw one clip. I don't want to comment too much on it because maybe there's other footage. All I saw was a Twitter clip, and what it was a young woman who walked up the steps, which presumably are there to step on. She did walk up the steps. She turned and she yelled out, "Freedom!" And she kind of rocked back and forth. She was up there for all of about 10 seconds, maybe, and then stepped back down off. That's what I saw. Maybe there's other footage. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
From what I know, that top step is the actual monument itself, because it's supposed to be, it's a coffin. I believe that's what she actually stood upon and did her thing. I believe there's...
Did you see the footage?
It's a little Twitter thing here. The post that someone said, it says, after explaining to these less than fine Canadians of the hallowed grounds in which they trode, this was their reaction in the name of freedom.
Can you bring that up?
I don't know if it's for or against, but let me see if I can get her a little bigger here. That won't work that way. No.
I have the image on Twitter.
If you have it, that'd be great, because I do not. I'm just using browser Twitter. I don't actually have a Twitter account.
I mean,
I don't want to give it too much justice either.
No.
I think it's kind of a waste of time. Like, it was blown out of proportion. Is it disrespectful? Yes. Is it the end all be all? No. Is it going to be the nail in the coffin of a worldwide movement at this point? We got convoys gearing up in the United States. We got convoys gearing up in Australia. People in Britain are watching. Like, everybody around the world is watching. People are watching what we're doing here. This is not going to tear down this massive movement. It has taken off, and the only person who could fix this right now is Justin Trudeau. People are buying it.
I'm not justifying what they did, and I'm not endorsing what they did. No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying I'm not. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying that these things have to be put into some degree of perspective. And okay, there's the Nazi flag thing, fake, in my view, and the Terry Fox thing is in bad taste and inappropriate, but it doesn't give the left or the opponents of this event an excuse to dismiss it all, as I've seen the politicians who have come out against it say, "Oh, everything you've done, it's all ruined now. It's all ruined now. See what you did? It's all ruined." No.
See, like, nobody buys into the narrative anymore. Like, it's so discredited.
Yeah.
There's, like, even Justin Trudeau himself, he only won 30-some% of the vote, like 32% of the vote in Canada. That is not a majority.
So
that is not a majority. That
no
does not...
stretch, Armstrong. We're not ignoring it. We're drawing attention to it. In fact, we could have ignored it today and not spoken about it at all. But because it was something that happened, and some people did bring it up, and we were going to talk about it right off the top of this broadcast. I said to Brendan, it was my suggestion that we deal with it later on, but we are dealing with it right now. We are talking about it. We're not ignoring it at all. But
no,
it's about perspective, and that's all I'm saying. It's you don't get to dismiss everything that these truckers have done and everyone out there supporting them is doing right now. You don't get to dismiss that because of this one thing.
Yeah,
because it's not that. It's not to that degree.
Mm-hmm.
I found it very comical because I saw several liberals commenting on it on Facebook, and I just chuckled so hard. It's like, you guys don't really get a say in statues. kind of
Yeah.
lost that.
And
Just
another
as
thing,
unlawful discrimination through the treatment of those who decline a vaccine is Nazism. Yeah, well, that's true. What they're doing is fascistic. No question about that. Yeah, Trudeau's a patriot. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I'm the Dalai Lama.
so how
Whatever.
are we looking up at the, how are you at the live feed? How's, what's going on over there?
Well, actually, I was figuring it about break time for now.
Yeah, it's. I think that the speeches have kind of started to wind down up there. So I think if you guys agree, we'll break off for a little while. A lot of people watching. We are going to be back on at 6 p.m. Right, gentlemen?
That's right. I'm going to try and see what I can do to secure some conversations from boots on the ground, and so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so we'll have some guests on, some live feeds from people who are right there at the scene at Parliament Hill. We'll have some people to interview and a lot more to share with you. And appreciate all the comments that everyone is making, and especially about these things right here at the end that we were just drawing attention to and not ignoring at all. And thank you again, everyone, for watching. Thousands and thousands of people have been watching our broadcasts this weekend from around the world. I am Rick Walker from Maverick News and Maverick Multimedia, and I'll let my co-hosts sign off here as well.
I'm Brendan Kennedy, the host for The Flow of Discourse.
And my name is Chris Baugh. I am the co-host with Bren on the Flow of Discourse.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back at 6 p.m. tonight.
Share
Eastern
those feeds.
Standard Time. Check the social media channels. We will put the link up on our Facebook and YouTube channels and other social media outlets. So we'll be back at 6 p.m. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and we'll catch you on the flip side.